All right, it's a Friday, March 22, just after 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And that's it. I'm done for the week. I'd say a largely successful week. Last week I was 12 and 1 for the week, 92%. And this week I followed it up with 14 and 2 for 88%. So I really can't complain about the week. 92% last week, 88% this week. It's right where I want to be. Last week I had a total of 13 trades. This week I had a total of 16 trades. It's a little under where I want to be. I'd like to be averaging around 20 trades. But both weeks there were reasons for having a day where there were less trades. And this week was an FOMC week. So considering everything, I'm really happy with 16 trades in the week. I'm really happy to have 14 wins and only 2 losers. The unfortunate thing for the week was my 2 losers did affect 2 of my most important accounts. I did take a loss on this account this week as well as this account. So, I'd like to think that when I have more evaluations than PAs, the likelihood of getting the losses will get distributed to the evaluations more often than the PAs. And then eventually as I build PAs, that balance will change over time. But this week it happened to be the PA's week to get some losses, but that's all right. And it's interesting too, because actually now I'm thinking about it. Last week, my one loss was here on PA2. So my last 3 losses were on my 3 PAs. But also I am now starting to trade, starting with my PAs first. So maybe because I'm going to trade them in a cluster like that, I'm taking a risk that the PAs are going to get hit first. But it just is what it is. I decided I need to start taking more trades on the PAs, and I was able to accomplish that this week. And the great thing is PA2 is the closest it's now ever been after today's win on it to a payout. I am less than $500 away. My previous high balance was like $52,060 or so dollars. So this is the highest the balance has ever been, and really hoping I can get there. Will I get to my first payout ever on Apex? I certainly hope so. My 1-year anniversary is also basically next week as far as trading on Apex. And while the first 9 months of trading on Apex last year was totally different systems, trading on ES, everything totally different. So it's a year anniversary, but it's really only 3 months of trading on NQ with this current strategy. So if I can pull off that payout, even by the next payout window, that would be a lovely anniversary gift to myself. And, one can only hope. But yeah, I was 2-0 today. It was a slow day. And the 2 trades that I got set up exactly where and how I wanted them to. And I was even talking about it in my live stream. If this happens, then I'll take this trade. And then if this happens, I'll take this trade. I'll get into that in a second when I zoom in here and take a look at the trades. So, I do live stream every day. If you're just checking out my review for the first time, come check me out live. You can see what I'm up to and why I'm taking the trades I am. 10 a.m. to 12:30 East Coast. And the 80% discount for Apex evaluations is still running. You can get 80% off using this code or any other code you might have, and that will get you a 80% discount on any size evaluation you want. They're also currently still running the 1-day pass, and that is running till March 27th. And yeah, I think let's get into the trades. All right, so here we go. Starting off my day, I did find 4 different size tick charts that I was working off of for the whole day. And for anyone that doesn't know, what I do is I look for second entries, and I'm looking for charts where every second entry is working since the open of the session from yesterday or the day before. And when every second entry works for my profit target, those are the charts I trade. I choose 4 of them, and then those are the 4 charts that I trade off of. And I will trade those charts until they pick up a loss, whether I take the trade or I don't take the trade. If there's an entry that doesn't work, then I scrap that chart and move on to the others. And then that will basically continue until about 9 to 9:30 in the morning, at which time I'll call it for the day. Or if I run out of charts that are without any losing entries, if I run out of those and they start getting losses, then I will stop when I don't have any more charts. Or if I were ever have a day where I just work through all of my active accounts, then I would also stop for the day, which I don't think that's happened yet. Maybe one time, maybe. Anyway, so today I started right at 7 o'clock. My stream started right around one of these candles, and price was at the opening price. You could see there was some resistance there. It broke out, and when it broke out, I was saying, okay, well, I have a first entry short here, so if I get a second entry short at the previous day's close, I would take the trade. And so I know it's a little bit hard to see it here on the YouTube video. I'm going to actually change the color of it because it's like a maroon, dark maroonish color. I'm going to change it to something brighter so it's a little bit more obvious. But it kind of broke through on this green candle, and then this candle turned down right off of me using it as a resistance level. I really like these trades. When I get these entries right off of those levels, I don't think I've seen one lose yet. So I took that trade on PA2 and evaluation 35. I got 18 ticks. And so you could see evaluation 35, I picked up $400. And on PA2, I picked up 162. And so again, with that trade, really getting close to that payout for PA2, really hoping I can get there. And so that trade I entered at 7:09 a.m. So pretty quickly after I started trading for the day. And then my next trade, I didn't enter until all the way over here, 8:37. So quite a long time, over an hour. I had to wait. Just wasn't anything. The only trade I could have, the only trade that I saw that maybe I could have taken was above this bar, first entry, second entry long. But I'm no longer taking trades going into the opening price level or previous close or any of those kinds of levels. I'm just skipping them because I've seen that that's where a lot of times I've picked up my recent losses. So that's a current rule that I'm using. So skip that trade, which is all fine and good. I don't care if it wins or loses in those cases. I just know that the probabilities are less in those scenarios. So I'm just staying away from them. And then here, when I did take my next trade, it was the same thing. At first entry short, second entry short. As it was working up, I was saying, I'd really like to do the same kind of thing. Get an entry right off of the previous clothesline. And I was looking for it off this candle. And then this candle started pushing. I thought maybe it's just going to keep going, but I was ready. And then it ended up flushing back down. And I entered it engulfing and got 20 ticks very easily, very quickly. And those were my 2 trades of the day. Right after this second trade, I had to go take my daughter to school today. So I missed about, I don't know, 50 minutes or so, and came back and waited a little while to see if anything else would set up that I could take, and there was just nothing happening. And then the price started just shooting up right as I was deciding to finish. So, we'll see what happens here. It's going to retest the highs of the day, and, we'll see if it can just keep going or if it's going to get rejected again and stay within this kind of larger range for the day. But all in all, a good week for me. I really can't complain. It's interesting. Like yesterday, my first trade of the day was a loss, and then I went on to get 6 wins in a row. And, when you get a loss like that, even though it doesn't really affect me very much the way I'm trading anymore, because it's just one account out of many, and I knew that I could go on a streak. It's nice to just look back on the week and go, okay, you know what? I improved all of my accounts except for my 2 PAs, really. These are the only 2 PAs that got set back a little bit, and not much. I mean, PA6 is, 250 to 300 below where it was before my last loss on it. And PA7, and also just $22 below starting balance. And PA7 is just 300 below starting balance. And both of them have almost 1,000 drawdown or so. So really, no need to be worried about that. And in the meantime, I got really close to passing evaluation 31. Hopefully I'll do that next week, as well as evaluation 27. So hopefully I'll be adding a couple of PAs really soon. And then all the rest of my evaluations are in really good shape. So really just enjoying trading this way. As I've worked with NQ and this strategy the first 3 months of the year, I can really say that, it's just gotten easier and easier. I started off with a bunch of rules, then I stripped all the rules away and just kind of testing how far I could push the limits with the strategy. And then finally got to the point where I'm down to just like a few really simple, basic black and white rules. And it's just been really easy to trade. If I pick up a loss, it's fine. I move on. But for the majority, I'm getting wins. And, just think about combining this week and last week, 14-2 this week, 12-1 last week. That puts me at 26-3 for the past 2 weeks, which is, 26-3 is all I need to do. I mean, really, just thinking about it here, that's 90% in the 2 weeks. So again, losing 1 out of 10 trades essentially on average, is, if I can do that, then you guys are going to start seeing some success on these accounts real soon for me, and I'll be able to start pushing a little bit harder. Today as well, on the evaluation 35 on my first trade, I did trade evaluation 35 with 5 contracts today, and that's why you're seeing a little bit of a bigger number in terms of the profit. And I did that because this account renews, 35 renews on Monday. So I decided that, and this account, by the way, was down to 48,600. There was about 500 or 600 to the drawdown where it would have blown up. And I was able to bring it all the way back. And so I just wanted to make sure before it renewed that it was as good or better than just buying a new account or blowing up the evaluation and having it reset from scratch. And so I accomplished my goal for the week on that one. Got it back above starting balance, and I got the full 2,500 drawdown. So that was really a big goal of mine, and I got there. So now I can just let it comfortably renew and just keep working on it for a second month. And I remind you, this was an account I bought for the 90% off. So it was $16 for the first month, and now I'll pay an additional $33 and change for the second month. So, now I'm looking at like a $50 account right there. That's my max risk on that account going forward for now. And yeah, let's see here. So having said all that, I'm really happy with the direction I'm going in, and 14-2 week, is really, at sometimes it felt like maybe this week won't be that great, but it still was a really good week for me, so that's really, looking back, why it's really important to just not let individual losses affect me. I've really been working on that and designed the way I'm trading these accounts and in my system to allow to absorb losses and not let it get me down, not let it make me feel like I'm not going to get to my goals, and really just let the Apex multiple accounts do their job to absorb those individual losses as they come, and meanwhile push forward the other accounts. And yesterday was just, again, to repeat, a great example of that, where my first trade was a loss. I took that loss on PA7 and just continued forward. I let that loss sit there, and I worked on all these other accounts, and I improved 6 accounts on the same day that I had one account that was red. And of course, the PA accounts are the most important accounts, but still working towards a payout on one of them, getting close. and really just the one payout is going to get me break even from Apex journey. So one max contract or one max payout, $2,000, I'll be completely break even. Anything beyond that will be profits, unless I start, going through accounts and spending another $1,500 before I can get a max $1,500 payout on a 25K account. So right where I want to be, right, to think I'm 3 months in on NQ with this strategy and things are continuing to work consistently is everything I wanted to see. I know that the payouts and everything else will come, and my bigger plans and goals for how I'm going to trade these accounts and make it happen faster. But right now I'm just going slow and just letting it test out and prove out that the numbers are going to stay consistent. So I think I've said it all. Check out my live stream. Please like and subscribe. I appreciate it. I really am hoping to become a presence over time on the channel. But even if I don't, the real purpose of me doing this is kind of like my own personal video journal that I can go back and look and see where I've been and where I'm going and how I've changed things, and be able to go back and learn from my experience. And so that was the main reason for me doing it. And then I thought it would be cool that other people can see just a regular guy trying to figure out how to trade on an NQ, came up with kind of a interesting and slightly different kind of strategy, and see if it can get me anywhere. And if I can find some success with this over time, then that will be really cool to be able to track that from the beginning of the journey. And if it falls apart and doesn't work, well, that will be recorded as well. And I'm sure some people find interest in that. So that's it for me for the week. 149 wins, 34 losses for the year, 81%, and 14 and 2, 88% for the week. I believe I've said it all. Let's see next week if I can get to that first ever payout on Apex just in time for my 1 year anniversary trading on their site. So thanks for watching, and I'll be back at it Monday, and hope you had a good trading week as well. I'm out of here.